Oi, my name is Susanna Zaraysky, and I'm the author of the book Language is Music, about how to learn foreign languages using music and the media. And I speak 7 languages, and I'm here today to talk about how you can use Brazilian songs to learn Brazilian Portuguese, including grammar, pronunciation, and sentence structure.
Oi, tudo bem? Eu sou Luciana, da Street Smart Brazil, and I'm co-author of the book 51 Portuguese Idioms, Speak Like a Brazilian. As Susanna just mentioned, we're going to create a series of videos using Brazilian songs to teach you Portuguese. And we're going to contrast Spanish and Portuguese. So this is going to be a great treat for the students who speak Spanish. The challenge for the Spanish speakers is that the two languages, Spanish and Portuguese, they're very similar, but they're also very different. Beleza?
Right, and you know, Luciana, I'm like some of your students. I learned how to speak Spanish before I studied Portuguese, and I often struggle with not mixing up the two languages because I don't want to speak Portuñol, I want to speak pure Portuguese.
And you will. Now, at Street Smart Brazil, we use songs as an integral part of our class material. Could you tell us a little bit about how songs can help our students learn the language?
Well, the most important thing to remember is that music engages more parts of your brain than language does. And if you remember something to a tune, you're more likely to recall that information that was in the song. But also, every language is like music. So every language has its own range of frequencies of sound. So for example, you're an English speaker and your range of frequencies, I'm showing you here on my little piano, is from this point, this sound to this sound. Okay, that's English. Let's say Spanish is here. And Portuguese is here. That's your range of frequency for Portuguese. This is just an example. If you're here over at the Spanish station and you want to play the sounds at the Portuguese station, you have to listen to these sounds at the Portuguese station, like a radio station, before you can make those sounds. And then you're going to be more likely to make these sounds in the Portuguese frequency. So this is like a graphical example of the musicality of language. Now, Luciana, as you know, your students probably have trouble pronouncing the nasal vowels in Portuguese, right? Because they don't exist in English and they don't exist in Spanish.
Yes, words like não, mão, avião.
That's correct. So if you have trouble with these nasal vowels, you need to listen to the nasal vowels in music or in spoken Portuguese, and then it's going to be much easier for you to produce those sounds later on. Oh, so you know, Luciana, let me give you an example. When we're talking about music and how you're more likely to remember something to music. Do you remember children's songs or nursery rhymes from when you were a child?
Yes, I do.
You do? Do you remember what was on your shopping list last week?
No, I don't.
You don't? There's a reason. Even though last week you would think the information that you had on your shopping list last week would be more likely to be in your brain than something you learned many years ago. If you remember something to music, you're more likely to remember it, and that just shows how powerful music is.
It's actually used in therapy, right? Like in speech therapy and language therapy.
Correct. Actually, there's a congresswoman from Arizona, Gabrielle Giffords, who was shot, and she suffered very serious brain damage. And right now she's working with a music therapist with whom she sings songs and in order to regain her speech. So she doesn't remember certain words, but then when she hears them in a song, she sings them in the song, and then after the song she remembers the words. And so when the music fades, the words stay. It really sticks in her head. And that is how powerful music can be.
Wonderful. So what we're going to do is use Brazilian songs to teach you Portuguese. So stay tuned to watch our next videos. Thank you. Obrigada.
Obrigada.
Ciao.